Hey, this is Randy. Today we will classify numbers as real, imaginary, and or complex using the definition that involves this form, a plus bi. We'll also practice plotting these numbers on the complex plane. Let's do it. So first of all, a complex number is defined as a number that can be written as a plus bi when both a and b are real numbers and I is the imaginary unit. Okay. Now it's very important to realize that a and b could be 0 because 0 is a real number. So if we have a number like, let's just say 5, that is both real and complex because we could write this as 5 plus 0i, right? And therefore, it is defined as complex and real, right? In the same way, if we had something, like 3i, this is both imaginary and complex because we could write it as 0 plus 3i. So in these two examples right here, a is 5 and a is 0, and b is 0 and b is 3. So we need to classify and plot the following number, and in this case we have 3 minus 2i. So can we write this number as a plus bi? Well, yeah, we could because a would correspond to 3, so we could say 3 plus negative 2 times I, right? So we have A and B, and there's I right there. Okay, now is this real? No, it's not because we have the imaginary unit, right? So it's not real. What about imaginary? Well, it has the imaginary unit, right? But it's not only imaginary because we also have a real number, 3, being added to negative 2i. So in this case, we have just a complex number, okay? So we're going to put a check mark right here, complex number. Now, how do we graph this on the complex plane? Well, the real axis is horizontal, right? And the vertical axis is the imaginary. So we're going to go 3 units to the right, and then it's going to be 2 units down because we have negative 2 right there. So that is where we plot the number 3 minus 2i on the complex plane. All right, let's do another example here. So first question is, can we write this number as a plus bi? Well, yes, a is the real number that has no imaginary unit being multiplied by that. So that would be negative 4. So we can rewrite this as negative 4 plus, and then it's a positive 2i, so plus 2i. So here we have a plus bi. So yes, this is a complex number. Now, is this real or imaginary also? It's not, because a real number will not include the imaginary unit, and an imaginary number will not be added or subtracted with the real number. So this is, again, just complex. Okay, now how do we graph this? Well, in the form a plus bi, we can see that the negative 4 is the real portion. So we're going to go left 4 on that real axis, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time it'll be up 2 because it's a positive 2i. So the number 2i minus 4, or a negative 4 plus 2i, is graphed on the complex plane right there. All right, now this gets a little bit more interesting now. Same instructions, but we need to classify 3i right here. Well, the question is, can we write this as a plus bi? Yes, we could, because we could say 0 plus 3i. A plus bi. A is 0 and b is 3. So yes, this is complex because we can write it as a plus bi. Now, is this real? No, it's not, because we have the imaginary unit. But is it imaginary? Yes, it is, because it's being multiplied by that imaginary unit, I. So this number, 3i, is classified as both imaginary and complex. Okay, it's both of those. The only thing it is not is real. Okay, good. How do we graph this? Well, we don't move right or left on the real axis because there is no real number being added or subtracted. We only have the imaginary number in this case. So 3i will tell us to go up 3 because it's positive. So 1, 2, 3 on that imaginary axis. So 3i is graphed right there on the complex plane. All right, let's do one more example here. So same instructions, we need to classify and plot the number 4. Okay, to find out if this is complex, can we write this as a plus bi? Yes, we could, because we could rewrite this as 4 plus 0i. A is 4 and b is 0. So we can write it as a plus bi, which means that this is complex. Now, is this real? Yes, it is, because there's no imaginary unit being multiplied here. So this is also real. And therefore, it is not imaginary. So this is classified as both real and complex. Now, how do we graph this number on the complex plane? Well, this time we're not going to move vertically, because the vertical axis is the imaginary axis. We're only going to move horizontally. And in this case, we're going to move to the right because it's a positive 4. So starting at the origin right here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right. And we will land at that point right there. And that is how we graph 4 on the complex plane. And with that, we are finished with the video on classify and plot complex numbers. See you next time.
Hey, hey.